Alright, so this is a video response to email I received. The email, I mean, it was so ridiculous that I just felt that I had to respond. So just making this quick video response. So the person emails me, he took the time to go on my website and fill out the application form and all this other stuff. He basically said, I saw your JKD video saying it's all false. He's saying, why should I even listen to you? Like, what are you, and all this other stuff. Okay, so this is what I had to say to that. This is my response. First off, people, they have too big of a freaking ego. What can you do? I mean, for me, how can you prove to somebody that you're qualified to teach when they think that they're on top of the world already? You know, it goes back to the whole Zen story about the professor who goes to the Zen master, and he's so filled up with his own ideas and thoughts that he doesn't want to be open to listen, and then the Zen master just pours the tea and just keeps pouring it until it overflows, and then it gets all over the guy's lap, and the guy's like, what are you doing, what are you doing? And the Zen master's like, well, you know, you're so filled with your own ideas, how are you going to be able to get a taste of mine? And the thing about it, you know, when it comes to combat, I mean, what do you need in order for them to prove that they are qualified or that they're good at what they do? Now, think about it like this. Now, Bruce Lee, he did not ever have to go in the cage or the ring or none of that. But look at all the respect that he got. Look at all the admiration. Look at all of the following. Look at all of his fans, his disciples. He didn't have to fight one time in the ring or in a cage at all. He did a lot of sparring. When he was younger, he did a lot of street fighting. And then he went into acting to showcase his talents. Now, most of the people out here have never ever sparred with Bruce. Nobody ever has sparred with them. Nobody has ever seen him in an actual street fight and broadcasted that to the world to see. You know, and nobody sees him in competition fights. So why is it that so many people respect him? Why is it that so many people feel that he's so good at what he does? The reason is because there's a lot of different ways you could demonstrate your abilities without having to actually hurt somebody. Okay? You could just see and feel his abilities, his talents, his energy, all of that on screen. He convinces you that he's the real thing. You know, I mean, when you see him on screen, you know that's real. This is not no Matrix, Keanu Reeves stuff. This is the real stuff. You know, and as for me, I'm not gonna hurt people to demonstrate what I can do. I know what I can do. I have nothing to prove to anybody. I know what I can do. And if people don't see that, that's all on them. It's not my job to prove to anybody what I could do. You're pretty much asking me, okay, you're trying to demand from me, give me your resume to prove that you're qualified to teach me. No, it don't work like that. You know, if I'm teaching the martial arts, I'm the Sifu. I don't got nothing to prove to you. You got to prove to me. In order to learn from me, you're going to have to prove yourself to me. It's not the other way around. So you got it all wrong. And you know what? Another thing is, why do I even have to prove anything to you? What do you have that I want? Nothing. You think you're going to give me a few dollars here and there, give me $50 a month, $100 a month, and I have to prove myself to you? No, it's not going down like that. Not at all. If anything, I'll keep all of this martial art within me because I know what the truth is. I know the real thing. I know it. For a fact, I know it. I don't have to share it to nobody. I'll find another way to make a living. I'll teach people fitness, no problem. I'll wash dishes, no problem. I'll mop the floor, no problem. I have nothing to lose. So most of the people out there are not qualified to learn from me, and I understand that. You know, this whole MMA craze, the way that I see it is similar to the P90X craze. P90X is a great workout system. I back it. They barely use any weights. It's all body weight mainly. You don't got to spend all this money on bulky equipment. It gets you fast results. It gets you the real deal, right? It's effective. MMA, that cage fight stuff, hey, you know, a lot of those techniques are effective, right? Okay, but the P90X got nothing on like the elite way of training. When I'm talking about 9-degree push-ups, full plank push-ups, 2-finger push-ups, 2-thumb push-ups, 1-arm pull-ups, human flag. And when you're talking about the real, like, this is like the hardcore, like a very few percentage of the population could do that stuff, that's P90X got nothing on that. And that's what I'm promoting. The stuff that goes beyond just the average. And this MMA stuff is nothing on what I know is the truth in the martial arts. I don't want to sound arrogant, but hey, you know, in order to fight ego, I gotta speak ego. So I know for a fact that what I have to teach will destroy everything in the cage. Will destroy it. But there's just no way. There's nothing for me to prove. I don't need to prove nothing. Because you know what? What I know is, like Albert Einstein, when he had the formula to the atom bomb, he could decide for himself, you know what? Should I even let anybody know about this? And then he let the president, I think it was Roosevelt, know about it. And then Roosevelt took that formula and then dropped that atom bomb in Japan and killed hundreds of thousands of people. Before Albert Einstein died, he was like, you know, I wish I was just a plumber. I wish I was not the one responsible for all those deaths. That was Albert Einstein's pretty much last words. He wished he was a plumber. And for me, I know for a fact that what I have to teach will destroy everything in the cage. Everything. But I think it may be best for me to keep it within myself and not show the people what I know. Because it's not gonna better society. You know, it's just gonna head towards more violence. Just like the street violence, gangs killing each other off. It's just gonna head to that. You know, so, you know, all I'm saying is that people, as far as Bruce is concerned, I mean, he's a great martial artist, great human being. There's a lot to learn from him, but hey, you know, if you think Bruce is the most intelligent person to ever live, you are brain dead. If you think that Bruce is the wisest person to ever live, you're brain dead. You gotta get your brain checked. So what I'm basically saying is, Bruce ain't nothing compared to a lot of great people out there that you can learn from. So learn from those great people. And learn from Bruce directly. His movies and his books edited by John Little. That's the only stuff that's real. Everything else out there, this JKD stuff, is all garbage. None of it is Bruce. It's somebody else. You know, now somebody is really famous. I think his name's Paul Vunak, who pretty much is somebody that studied over under Dan Insano, and then they try to trace it back to Bruce. Well, the guy might be good at what he does, but his teacher is Dan Insano. Okay, it's not Bruce Lee. All right, so his teacher's Dan Insano, and then he expresses his thing. He might have came up with his own label for it, whatever, but it's not JKD. Bruce is JKD. Alright, and Bruce didn't give nobody permission, you know, to turn it into a system, because he was against the system thing. Alright, so these people are just trying to milk off of Bruce's fame. That's all they're trying to do. It's all about making money. The truth is, everybody has their own expression in the martial art. You might be copying somebody's expression, or you might be expressing your own. And if you're expressing your own, then it's up to how talented you are in what you do. Can you go through all the hard work that Bruce went through to get to where he was at? But you know what? He had to kiss a lot of ass in order to get into Hollywood. If he didn't get into Hollywood, nobody would know nothing about Bruce. Nobody even give two shits about Bruce. Nobody would know about Yip Man. Nobody would know about Wing Chun. Nobody would know about Bruce. Nobody would know about Wing Chun. Nobody would know about Yip Man. Okay? It's because of Hollywood. And Bruce had to kiss a lot of ass in order to get into Hollywood. He was like hanging out with all the rich folks, all the actors, trying to get in. And finally he got in. But then he passed away. So there's a bunch of Bruce Lees out there that nobody knows about. A bunch of Bruce Lees, meaning a bunch of talented people that nobody knows about. You think the most talented people in this world are the people that you find in that cage? If you think that's the truth, you got some serious, you don't know nothing. You know nothing. It's like thinking that the most beautiful woman is in porn. Not every woman's gonna sell herself out like that. There's a lot of beautiful women out there that are way better looking than the women in porn that are not gonna let themselves go into that type of industry. So all those people in the cage, they're just selling themselves. They're selling their souls. They got their spirit right there is gone. It's gone. It's non-existent. A real martial artist has a strong spirit and can destroy. I mean, is way more talented than all that stuff you see out there. You might find them on YouTube. You might not. But you look at all those Shaolin monks that practice in China and all that stuff. They're not doing it for money. Shoot, they're walking around in robes. They're eating once a day. They don't care nothing about money. They gave up sex, and they still training their asses off, getting into a high level of expression. And they don't even have a name. You don't even know what their name is. They shave their head. They don't even got hair. They all look the same, but they all just do some crazy stuff. They got to a high level, not because of money. It's because it's in them. It's their life. And that's what I'm talking about. That's real martial arts. It's your life. It's not for the money. It's not for the fame. It's not for the woman. It's just your life. You just train. That's just what it is. And that's real martial arts. It's not some fake cage fighting stuff. This is not WWF, WWE. That's what I see the cage fighting stuff to be. That WWE stuff and all everything. You know, so I'm not saying the JKD instructors out there are not talented. I'm just saying they need to drop that label and pick up something else that they create, because they've stolen that label from Bruce, and that's a copyright violation. They should all be sued. They should all be sued, and they're disrespecting Bruce by using that label and mass producing it like they got certified from Bruce directly or something like that. That's all bullshit. No, they need to come up with their own label. Call it John Smith's Kung Fu. Call it Anthony Watkins Kung Fu. Call it Mary Johnson's Kung Fu. Don't call it JKD. JKD is not you. That's Bruce's stuff. So just like me, I'm coming up with this FMK stuff. Don't go around claim yourself certified FMK Sifu when you haven't even met me. You know, you never even trained with me. I never gave you permission. None of that. That's copyright violation. That's against the law. You should be sued. It's pretty much what everybody's doing to Bruce. You know, and you got to be able to see that and be like, hey, you know what? If this guy's claiming JKD, it immediately shows that he's a thief, that he stole something that don't belong to him. So why would you want a thief to teach you? You know, it's okay to say that you've been inspired by Bruce Lee, and that a lot of the stuff that you know is based off of, you know, his philosophies. But to take that label and claim that, you know, that you're certified under JKD, JKD's not even a system. How can you even be certified? You know, it's just, it's not like that. You know, I mean, it's his thing. So pay attention to how businesses operate out there. If you spent your sweat and your blood to build up a reputation under a name, you can't just let anybody come in there and destroy that name. Like Mercedes-Benz, they built a reputation. You can't, like, just have a crappy car and just put Mercedes on there. No. Call it something else. Call it Ford Focus or something. Don't call it Mercedes, because then you destroy the reputation of that label. Every label that has any significance to it, it needs to be protected. And JKD's not protected by law. Anybody could go out there and say JKD whatever. It's all false. Bruce Lee's passed away. That's it. Now you gotta create your own label. You might know a lot of stuff that Bruce used to know and all this other stuff, but it's still not him. You still gotta make your own. And that's what I'm promoting people to do. Make your own labels. Don't steal somebody else's without their permission. If they give you the permission, then that's another story. But even beats work like that. You get a beat online. If the person gives you permission, hey, you can take this beat, then that's great. But if he says, hey, you know, if you use this for commercial rights, if you use this to profit, you better pay me. Otherwise, you're breaking the law. You're breaking the copyright law. That doesn't belong to you. So this JKD stuff, people that are claiming it don't belong to them. They're breaking the law. They're disrespecting Bruce. That's all I gotta say.